Welcome to a brand new Let's Play. Let's play Daggerfall. Now, I have a long history with this game. I have been playing it pretty much since it first came out in the 1990s. So, at least, more than 2 decades of experience of playing with it. Oh, wait, that's oh, more than 2 decades. Yeah, that's more than, let's say, more than 25 years at least. And so, um, yeah. So basically, yeah. Um, so I do know how Daggerfall works in general, but there is now a slight new. Well, but there's now something new about this, which is going to be a completely new experience. Which is this is actually the Unity version, and so and obviously Unity. I am aware that it it differs from the original version somewhat. There's maybe a lot of improvements, a lot of quality of life stuff, but and even like some changes to the game mechanics. So in that regard, it's gonna be kind of a new territory for me. But yeah, so right, so on to choosing our character and creating it. Well, I've been thinking and I've decided that the character that we are going to be playing, because Daggerfall takes, let's say, give or take 20 years before the events of Morrowind, and our character in Morrowind was Ragnar Frost-Wind, the battle mage. And so, the character we are creating today he's going to be the, let's say, yeah, he's going to be the father to Ragnar Frost-Wind. And so obviously he's going to be a Nord in Skyrim. Yes, you can see like the textures are very crisp, so this is the Unity version. Nords hail from the province of Skyrim. You're part of a tall, fair-skinned people, strong, willful, and hardy. Owing to the climate of Skyrim, Nords are resistant to the coldest temperatures and take little damage, even from ice-based magical attacks. Nords are historically well suited to the arts of the warrior. Is a character to be a Nord? Yes, we are. Yes, we're going to be a male. We're going to choose classes to play. And we're going to create a custom build. As much as I like I do like the idea of using these like this built-in classes, but Daggerfall is it's a hard game, and I've I've seen enough of people play this Unity version on YouTube to know that especially the combat has been made much more difficult in this one because the enemies are much, let's say, they're much smarter, they move faster, they're just going to beat your skull in. So we are making a custom class. And for the lack of a better word, I was gonna put witch hunter, but I'm gonna put, let's call it Crusader, because this is more like a warrior. Because the stand the in the in Morrowind, the Crusader class, but you have witch hunter class, but that's more like someone who uses a bow and arrows and casts spells. But this guy is gonna be a Crusader. Let's see. Well, we don't have to be particularly smart to be a Crusader, so now intelligence does affect some skills, We are going to have some intelligence-based skills, so I don't want to tank it too much, but obviously those spell points are not going to be an issue. I think personality, that can go down a little bit. Luck can go down. We don't need to be super lucky. In fact, if I tank personality too much, we're not really going to be able to get too much help from, let's say, the public when we need to find places. Well, strength is going to be useful. We don't really cast spells, but magic resistance is going to be useful. So endurance, obviously, we're going to need to be a strong, tough warrior. Agility obviously helps with all the warrior stuff, or speed. Yeah, we're going to need to be quite fast on our feet. Right. In terms of skills, well, I want the main weapon skill to be blunt weapons. We're also going to need critical striking and dodging. Yeah. Because combat I think in this Unity version is extremely difficult, you know, because the thing is like, um, with the regular Daggerfall, let's say like I have enough experience with that, and I'm kind of, let's say, like good enough with the mechanics and movements and kind of timing and everything to be able to, like, that. For me, with the regular version of Daggerfall, combat was never really too much of an issue for me. Critical strike, other skills. Well, obviously, yeah, I'm gonna need some. I think climbing's gonna be handy. Um, we're gonna need lock picking actually. Yeah, and jumping, like physical stuff. We're gonna need to have skills that helps us navigate basically the map. Um, to have, yeah, Daedric, you know, when you're combating, witches and Daedra and all the evil people and evil creatures, it helps to know the language of the enemy. So you have Daedric, um, you have medical, yes, medical, um, hmm, let's see, well, running is also obviously useful, and swimming because, yeah, running, swimming. We probably should have a secondary weapon skill, so I'm gonna put like hand to hand in here. Yeah, or short blade, in case we get the ebony dagger thing. I guess short blade, sure. Yeah, a secondary weapon skill, yeah. Kind of a. We might not get like a decent blunt weapon at the beginning of the game, so I'm just thinking about that. Well, there's streetwise and etiquette, so that helps with talking. Mercantile helps us, would help us barter. I guess we'll go with mercantile. Yeah, yeah. I think this is decent. Yeah, some movement skills. Lockpicking is here because, well, I mean, I suppose you can always bash locks. That is true. But sometimes we might need to be able to open locks in a more, sneaky manner. So, right, advantages and disadvantages. Well, first of all, darkness powered magery, lower abilities. Let's see if Unity allows us to do this. Okay, yeah. Okay. So, okay, yeah. Because in regular Daggerfall, you can take darkness power magery, lower abilities in daylight, and unable to use in daylight both. And with the light powered magery, which is kind of the opposite, you could also take both like lower abilities and unable. So yeah, obviously. So we're gonna be unable to use magic here. Yeah, unable to regenerate spell points. Well, we'll take that, but unable to use magic darkness. Obviously, we're unable to regenerate spell points. As you can see, we are not going to be able to cast magic with this character, like, ever. Hmm. We are also not going to be allowed to use plate armor. Or should I just forget maybe leather armor? Uh, might I might change certain things maybe. Low tolerance. Low tolerance to fire. What else? Forbidden armor type material, shield type. Forbidden material, Daedric. We are not allowed to use the weapons of the enemy. And we are not allowed to use Orcish because it is a tainted, dirty, unholy material. Oh, you can't actually. You actually have like click. In the regular Daggerfall, you could just kind of hold down your mouse button, and it would, and it would kind of go like, it would, you don't have to like click like 30 times. This one. Now, special advantages. Well, gonna be very athletic. This reduces the amount of like stamina that you use when you move and fight. At this, we're gonna bonus to hit undead. Partially, we're gonna be experts in the use of blunt weapons. And we're gonna be immune to paralysis. Yeah. Yes, you can see that dagger is going up like quite radically. Um, and we're gonna have resistance to shock. As a Nord, we're already resistant to frost. Resistance to shock. Resistance to magic, poison, disease. Hmm. In fact, we're gonna, oh, resistance to magic and immune to shock. Well, okay, immune to poisons, huh? Well, at least resistance to shock, yeah. Immune to paralysis, resistant to shock, expertise in blunt weapon, bonus to undead, athleticism. Oh, and at least like rapid healing, I think. Maybe even regenerate health in general. Well, suppose if instead of low tolerance to fire, we have critical weakness to fire. Yeah. 30 points hit points per level. I guess, yeah, I mean, we level up a little bit slower than average characters, but obviously the underworld hates us. Thieves, murderers, necromancers, witches, they're gonna hate a crusader. I think scholars, well, nobles will at least like us, and maybe the peasants too, because we are getting rid, we are ridding the world of evil. Scholars, well, scholars might dislike our brutish ways, and so at least a little bit, they kind of scoffed at. Well, I mean, I guess merchants could be. Yeah, I mean, merchants do also appreciate crusaders who kill like, monsters and undead creatures. Peasants, merchants, and obviously nobles too. Scholars scoff at us because, we are kind of brutish, and obviously necromancers and thieves and assassins, they hate us because they think we are holier than thou. That's our reputations. Mm. So yeah, because we have a rather low personality, so that's kind of helping to offset our low personality. So yeah, let's we will roll with this. Choose your character's career path by answering 12 important career decisions that will influence your character's background. At an early age, your family considered to be important. You learn how to mend simple wounds, boss people around, fight with a knife, graduate yourself, or haggle with merchants. So medicine, streetwise, short blade. Um, this is etiquette, and this is no, but well, mercantile in the long run will kind of in the long run mercantile is almost like a useless thing. I think fight with a knife, yeah. Just you were an active child, blank than anyone else your age. So faster, better climber, better brawler, sneakier, better swimmer. Where brawling is hand to hand, naturally. Well, I think better climber, yeah. Yeah. We were better climber because, well, we can't cast levitation. We have to be good at something. So we have to be, know, I think the game thinks I'm some sort of thief character. You can get most of the things you want by stealing from. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, hold on. We don't steal. But, let's see, nobles like this. Obviously, we are a religious character, and merchants like us. So, because the mages and sages scoff at us, the one skill you could not work without is, well, lockpicking, I suppose. Though certainly not due to hard work, you happen to legitimately own an ebony dagger. Yeah. Although, yeah, the thing is, like this would be this is a, because blunt weapon is my primary weapon skill. And this can already kind of harm several creatures, but ebony dagger can harm anything, so yeah, we'll have that. What thieving skill have you practicing the longest? Just lockpicking. Climbing, I mean, of course climbing, critical strike, those would be useful, but lockpicking, yeah. Because you only get one chance to pick a lock, by the way. Where is your expertise in combat? Well, obviously, the expertise is in blunt weapons. As a child, your nickname was Rabbit, Quicksilver, Monkey, Guppy, and Scrapper. Well, Rabbit is jumping, Quicksilver is running, Monkey is climbing, Guppy is swimming, Scrapper is hand to hand. I think again, monkeys, were good at climbing. Although, jumping over pits, Okay, well, what motivates you in the life of adventure? Fame, fun, helping others, knowledge, or riches? Let's take the high road, helping others. What god, if any, do you worship? Well, I actually did take a quick look at the temples in Daggerfall, just to kind of, as a recap, reminding myself, kind of like seeing what services they have, what kind of skills they value, and kind of also something that more or less fits my character, and I'm gonna go with Stendar, God of Mercy, because this is the temple for hammer smashers, essentially. Your frail health as a child has made you easily tired, less resistant to poison or disease or magic. Um, Easily tired, yeah. You prefer? Come on. Ah, I'm not sure if these, like in the standard Morrowind, these questions don't actually affect anything, but I have a feeling that in Unity it actually does. I'm gonna assume that cat burglary. Well, it might actually. Well, cat burglary might actually be maybe. It might be like something like climbing if it affects something. Might also be like the bank robbing. Or would this be like lockpicking? Let's say cat burglary, yeah. Name thyself. Right. We are Wulfgar Frost-Wind. Remember, we are the. Oh, okay, I can actually use that. Okay, so okay, so it doesn't actually like use the so-called American keyboard, no bindings. So I can just use my own. So we are Wulfgar Frost-Wind, the father to Ragnar Frost-Wind. From well, I think he definitely looks like a dad, doesn't he? Yeah, I guess that, this is Unity, but yeah, I mean, he also has a beard, and or maybe like this. Yeah, he looks like a young dad. We'll go with this one. Let's see. That's not bad, actually. I know 14 is the maximum you can get to these extra points. I'm gonna save this. Wait until I get like until I get 14. Come on. Hmm. Right, but you know, okay, willpower is now much higher. Good, but okay, this is decent, yeah. Nice willpower, endurance, yeah. So get more hit points, more leveling. Yeah, agility is 56. So if I get when I level up, if I get 4 points, if I only get 4 extra points to attributes, I'm gonna put it to agility and 1 point maybe to speed. Yeah, this is good. Okay, yeah. Out of these skills, obviously, well, critical striking would be no. These skills they kind of improve on their own. You know, just when you fight and when you try to avoid getting hit. You know, obviously everything to blunt weapons. Oh, yeah. Because again, lock picking is the hardest skill to improve. Yeah, we have ebony short, so we have that ebony thing. Yeah, running, swing, mercantile, medical. And obviously, we're not going to be running into Daedra, I don't think, anytime soon. So everything just to short play. And mercantile, just buy and sell stuff. It goes up on its own. Now, in case you didn't know how leveling works in Daggerfall, well, basically, um, the game will consider the game basically considers your all of your primary skills, two highest major skills, and the one highest minor skill. And it kind of keeps track of how much you have improved those. And once you have improved those skills, enough by enough many points, then you will level up. So it starts with, and specifically like it keeps track of, how much you have improved those skills. Reflexes, you know what? I'm gonna go with very low because, like, I tested with the average this Unity version, and I was having so much trouble. Well, not so much, but let's say uh, at least like I was having at least some amount of trouble with the combat because the enemies they just kept wailing at me and just punishing me, especially like the stronger opponents at the beginning. Right, now here is our character Wulfgar Frost-Wind. Let us begin.
400 years after Tiberception's reign, the beginning will meet the end, and the bloody circle will close in the empire of Tamriel. The unworthy heirs of the Septim dynasty have allowed the bonds of the empire to weaken and crack. Uriel Septim the Seventh cannot repair what his ancestors ignored, but provinces, fight among themselves like neglected children, drunk with rebellion. One dominable power tied itself, but not forever.
Da da da. Daggerfall. The Imperial Palace, the seat of Emperor Euroseph VII, midnight.
None may know of this meeting. The nature of my trouble is darker still. Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him, but his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul. I ask this as your emperor, as your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen of Death. It never arrived. The letter was of a sentimental and personal nature. If you find and destroy that letter, I will be grateful. Now, my champion, rest well this night. For tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
Da da da. You wake and look around the room. Some hours ago, you were in a boat en route to Daggerfall when a storm of supernatural strength boiled over the Iliad Bay like a malefic creature. Your boat was destroyed, but you managed to swim through the churning water to a promontory rock. There, you found a cave and escaped the fury of the storm. You had only just lit a small fire when a mudslide sealed you within. Your fear of being buried alive calmed when you saw the corridor leading out of the cavern. Perhaps there is a way out of this cave after all. Once free of the cave, you can begin the Emperor's quest. And no, we don't need the tutorial. Right. Okay, well. Game saved. Yeah, controls. Slide. Recast a bot spell. Use magic items. Ready weapon Z. Okay. Right, so obviously we are good with blunt weapons, but you know, some enemies will require the dagger. Arcade the God. Okay. Oh yeah, as you can see, we quite literally don't have the blue bar. Is that left shift wrong? By the way, is it still? Let's see. Yeah, left shift is run. C is crouch. J is jump. get some loot. Oh yeah, by the way. Well, obviously, this one lists all our advantages and disadvantages. Yeah, because we are Nord, we have resistance to frost. Right. Right, so let's read the description. Because we have a background story for our character. Oh, by the way, one thing I wanted to say, but I didn't want to disturb the opening sequence, that video. You know, I mean, here's a little interesting tidbit that you might not be aware of. The bald guy next to Uriel's septum, was holding the torch. That is actually Okato, the Imperial battle mage. And so he's basically, like the second in command in the Empire. Anyway, you were born to a peasant family in a tiny village in the mountains of Skyrim. Your parents and older brothers were hard workers, proud of their strength and endurance. The only big about you was your appetite. You were of an inquisitive nature. No cupboard, closet, or drawer was safe from your prying eyes and fingers. You left no traces, but still your father and brothers beat you when they caught you. By the time you were 11, they no longer caught you. Your mother taught you knife fighting and climbing, but you had no other schooling and wanted none. Once you climbed the wall of the local mages guild and spied on the young apprentices at practice. When the equipment was left lying around about you, you took it for your own. In this way, you acquired a book. You also adopted a jacket shed by its owner and wore it proudly about the village. One day, you saw some village boys hurling stones and insults at an old woman named Ella Alanson. Moved by an impulse you did not understand, you flung rocks back at the boys. They laughed, but as you drew near, they turned and ran away. You went back to Ella Alanson and offered to see her to her door. "Come inside," Ella Alanson said. "I have something for you." Her cottage was just one room, with cats and kittens everywhere. "Sit down," she said, removing two cats from a stool. "I'm going to teach you about locks." "Why?" you asked. "The cats don't need training in locks," Ella Alanson said. "You do." "Oh well, no matter." Thus your training began. Her hands could no longer perform, but her mind was still efficacious. You and Ella Alanson became friends, as well as student and teacher. On your 16th birthday, she told you that you must leave. Your little village was too small for someone of your talents. "What of you?" you asked. "I also must move on. Perhaps some day you'll visit me in the Iliac Bay." "I would like that. Until then, I have my memories and my cats." On your way to the Imperial City, you stopped in an inn and heard that the Emperor was to pass the next day. Instead of sneaking into a room, you spent the night in a tree beside the road. You wanted to see the Emperor. Later, there would always be chances to break into some merchant's house. Yeah. The procession was very splendid indeed, but a nearby rustle drew your attention. A black-clad man was crouching on a limb 10 feet beneath you. You gasped before you could stop yourself, and he twisted around, bringing his bow to bear on you. With no time to draw a weapon, you flung yourself at him, and together you crashed down all the heads below, just as the Emperor's carriage drew abreast. Hands seized you roughly. You felt dizzy and a trail of fire burned along your left arm. Poison! Then a white-robed elf muttered an incantation over you. Your arm cooled and your head cleared. The Emperor himself thanked you and gave you an ebony dagger. The local folk treated you to drinks and food and unaccustomed praise. Later, you slipped away and found that in addition to an ebony dagger, the Emperor had handed you a note inviting you to share an audience with him at the Imperial Palace. You set out immediately. Right. Right, so that was a rather long background story for our guy. Yeah. Oh, what button is the weapon swap? Switch hands H, okay. Well, right, because we are resistant to magic, we have a rather high willpower too. We resist, yeah. Although we are kind of weak to fire, so we have to keep that in mind. Khajiit suit. Well, I'm only using the dagger when I have to. We are, after all, much better with this hammer, so. Yeah. Oh. Good. Yeah, I think with this kind of slower speed, I'm much more comfortable with the combat. So, well, we do get a little bit of armor now. Well, loot pile. This gonna be bad. Right. Archer. Yeah, managed to take care of him. Let's see. Well, iron claymore, huh? I will take it, but since it's just an iron weapon, we are gonna drop it as soon as we can. Okay, yeah, we also got a leather, some leather armor. Right. Yeah. It's man, this is desperate. The iron mace is just such a poor weapon that, you know. Try to use the dagger. Oof. Right. Well. Oh, Elven katana. Nice. Oh. Finally. Now that was a fight and a half. Oh. Oh boy. That was a fight and a half, as I say. Yeah. Well, okay, at least like get a cuirass. This is a dwarven helmet, but I'm not going to be able to use it, so. Oh wait, no. Oh, no. Plus six is actually no. It's chain helmet. I can use it. Oh yeah. Come on, just a thief. You should be able to do that. Right. Well. Oh, this is a potion of healing. Nice. Oh, so there. Nice. More loot. Nice. Oh yeah, save versus spell made. That's good. Money, money, bamboo, shirt. Yeah, there is a loot pile in here, so. Yeah, so even though I have very slow reflexes, that fight against that skeleton, like, that was a fight and a half, like, ooh. There's gonna be a rat in here. Hello, Mr. Ratty. Going somewhere? Locked. Does not unlock. So, gonna have to bash the lock. Ghoul's tongue, yeah. Now, when I was testing, I was using the standard knight. I was like Nord and a standard knight class. And okay, it's just F9, not the control F9. Okay. Um. Well. Yeah, because there's these two archers in here, one in each room. You know, I was having trouble trying to deal with them. Oh, definitely have this, these. Well, okay. Now that I have obviously better character and I managed to, I managed to lure only one of them. So, because in my test playthrough, I also had to fight both of them. Oh, an axe, yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, I guess I could remove this leather armor. Yeah, I don't need that. This is also considered a leather armor, so I'm gonna remove that. I'll keep the chain and the plate and these weapons. Oh, this is probably how much I carry. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna remove iron weapons. Just because these iron weapons, they aren't very valuable, you know. Right. Okay, well, at least now I have some better armor, you know, like. Now I have at least like almost a full set of like a with the combination of leather and chain, you know. Oh, there's a. Now, one thing that I am grateful about in this Unity version is that there is enemy infighting, so enemies can actually fight each other. Oh, yeah. The imp and the bat are fighting. Well, just wait. Okay, the imp obviously killed the bat. But it no longer has spell points, I think, so the imp cannot cast spells at me. Well, this here is the exit. However, there's still some places to, explore in here. Now we're gonna do a very stupid thing. Because there is another skeleton in here. Come on, hit it. Critical strike. Come on, bonus to hit undead. Yeah. Oof. Well, it's a steel bow. Oh. Yeah, as you can see. I mean, fighting in this one is just so much more difficult. Okay, I got 6. You know what? I think I could still I think I could still appreciate a little bonus to hit. And possibly some extra speed for myself, a bonus to hit and a bonus to dodge. I think I could value those things right about now. There's a thief. Ha! Yeah. Well. Yeah. Get bent. And another skeleton in here. Oh, at least. Oh, at least, at last. And that, my friends, is a full clearing of Privateer's Hold. Now, even though the most challenging thing in my test playthrough was fighting 2 archers at the same time, but I would say that in this particular case, the hardest thing was, fighting those skeletons. It really is a fight and a half to defeat them, so. Yeah. Alright, Z's. Z's for weapon. Oh, okay. Well, because I also made some saves for my test character. And now that I started a new game and I saved, I noticed that the list for these saves was completely empty. And so I assumed that I assumed that it was because somehow the game had like deleted the save files, but okay, yeah, yeah. This was my test character, Sparhawk. Oh, 10 points and a parrot sign to anyone who recognizes this name, Sparhawk. I mean, this should be a relatively well-known character. And well, it was I bet yeah, it was a test character. It was a Nord knight, so I gave him the name from a fictional knight character, Sparhawk. From well, I don't actually remember the names of those books, but I do remember the author. And the author's name was David Eddings. In case you have ever heard of a guy like that, he writes fantasy. Right. All right, so that was the character creation and a full clearing of privateer's hold. And yeah, so I would say this is enough for now, I'm sure. And so, of course, when we come back, we'll continue our story with, you know, with Wulfgar Frost-Wind. And yeah, I suppose we'll find ourselves a town, we'll sell our loot, and, maybe try to find some work. Maybe join a guild and get some quests. But anyway, this is enough for now. Thank you for watching. See you next time, and goodbye.